Hello everyone, welcome to Sharmit. In this session, we will discuss another solution for deleting the record from the parent table when there is a dependency on child table. Okay, so far we have covered two solutions on delete cascade and on delete set null. In this session, we will discuss about the on delete set default. So for that, I have already created one program, so I will walk you through that program and then we'll discuss the entire process and also see the operations. Okay, so the program is quite simple. We are using the same formatting as we did in last two's part. Just the only difference is the keywords that we are using in the child table. So let me walk you through this. So first of all, we are declaring the constant, which is SQL state underscore valid with 5 times zeros. So this thing we will use to verify whether the query executed is successfully or not. After that, we are setting the commitment control equals to star none, which means that we are going to change the file. We are going to change these, implement these changes permanently. Now below to this, what we are doing, we are creating one parent table. So to create the table, I'm using exec SQL command, and here I'm using create or replace table customers one, which would be my parent table. Customer ID is integer primary key, customer name is varchar50, and then we are terminating this table. So once this table is created, this table will get created with primary key as customer ID, and this thing we will refer in child table as a foreign key. Okay, so as we always do, we are verifying this query whether it is executed successfully or not. If it executes successfully with SQL state valid, then it will be printed as table created successfully. Uh, if it is created with 01567, then it means a table created but not generaled. Okay, so SQL state valid will come when the table is generaled also. Otherwise, we will print the message SQL state and query ended with an error. So this is all about the parent table. Now we will discuss about the child table. So in child table, I am using exec SQL command, create or replace table orders one, order ID integer primary key, order number varchar20, customer ID is of type integer, and here we are using default equals to star none. Why? Because on foreign key we are going to use this as a default value. So whatever the column which you are referring as a reference foreign key, make sure to set the default value there. Okay, so we have set the default value as default 999. Then we are defining the foreign key for customer ID column, and it is taking the references from customers one table, customer ID column of customers one table. And then we are using the keyword on delete set default. So what it will do, whenever we are deleting any record from the parent table, it will delete it from the child table as well. Instead of deleting the entire row, it will just delete that particular ID and replace it with the default value, which is 999. This thing we will see when we will perform some operation on this table. Okay, and then we are verifying table here also, like if it is created successfully, we will print message this, otherwise we will print created successfully but not journal, and in case of error it will show the SQL state and also provide the message query ended with an error. And then we are setting the star INLR equals to star on. So let's compile this and call this. So you can see table created but not journaled, table created but not journaled. So for this operation we need journaling on our table, so we will do that. So for that you need to create journal receiver. So I will hit the command crt jrn rcv, then press F4. Here put your receiver name, so I will go with R1 name and my library name is Sharmit1. So it is created. Now we will create journal crt jrn F4. If you are not aware of journaling, then for now you can just simply perform these steps. In detail we will discuss later. Okay, so I have mentioned J1 as my journal name and Sharmit1 library attaching with this receiver R1 and library is Sharmit1, hitting enter. So it is created. Now journal receiver is ready. We have attached the receiver with journal. Now it's time to start the journaling. So for that, just go with str jrnpf command, press F4, put your table name. So my table name is customers1, library Sharmit1, and here I will put the journal name which is J1, and library is Sharmit 1. Hit enter. Journaling started. Similarly, we will start the journaling for orders table as well. So it is mandatory to journal both the files. So okay, something wrong with file name. Orders 1 started. Okay, so the basic initial two steps we are done with. Like we are done with these two steps. First one is the first one is the creation of table with on delete set default keyword, and another one is to start the journaling. Now we will look at the third part, which is how we can perform the deletion operation now, and what would be the difference between on delete cascade, on delete set null, and on delete default set default. So for that we will insert some data, some random data. So let me reuse my query to insert the data. So as we know that this time we are going to replace the deleted ID with some default value. So for that I will firstly insert one default value in my customer table, which is 9999 999 with default. So, okay, so I'm inserting data as insert into Sharmit1 slash customers1 999 default, and then simply hit enter. So it is inserted. Now we will insert some data for the customers. So let me add this cust1. So first record is added, second is also added. Now we'll insert third record. Fine. So this is about the parent table. Now we will insert data into child table. So here there is no need to insert default value. Here we can directly insert main or order detail. So I'm using the query insert into Sharmit1 slash orders1 values 1 ord1 1. It is inserted. Similarly, we will insert it for the second customer and for the third customer. So it is added. Now I will show you the data first, and then we'll perform the delete operation. So Sharmit1 slash customers1. So data is inserted, and this is the default value that we will use. So this is the column which we are referring in the child table. So let me show you the child table data also, which is orders1 hitting enter. So you can see 1 2 3 1 ord 1 2 3 and 1 2 3. So this is the column which is being referenced by primary table or parent table. So now what we will do, we will delete this customer ID from parent table, and what it will do, it will replace this value from the child table with the default value, which is 999. Okay, if you talk about the on delete cascade, in that case it was deleting the entire row. In case of on delete set null, it replaces it with null. But in today's session we are discussing about the on delete set default, so it will get replaced with 999 or default value. So let's try to delete the data from this. So I'm reusing my query, which is delete from Sharmit1 slash customers1 where customer ID is 3. So hitting enter. Now verify the data in firstly in the customers table. So you can see data is removed from here. Now if I check for the orders table, let me rerun the query. Select a star from Sharmit1 slash orders1. So you can see the record is there, but the ID is replaced with default value, which is 999. Okay, so this is the advantage of using default on delete set default. Okay, so basic thing is that, like, whenever we are deleting something from the parent table, it will get replaced in with the default value inside child table. Whether you are using multiple child table, there are multiple dependencies, then in that case also it will work. Okay, so yeah, these are the some solution that we can implement for the deletion of child parent relationship table. Okay, so far we covered three things: on delete cascade, on delete set null, and on delete set default. The only difference between them is, first one, for on delete cascade, it will delete the entire data from the child table when you are deleting the data from parent table. In on delete set null, it will replace the uh, foreign key value with null when you are deleting the record from parent table. In case of on delete set default, the one which we discussed in this session, it will replace the value with default value, which is 999, the thing that we have set in program while creating the table. So it replaces the thing with a 9. If you want to replace it with 1 to 3, you can make it 1 to 3 here. Okay, so what it will do, it will replace the value with default value when we are deleting the record from the parent table. Okay, so yeah, that's all for this session. In the upcoming session we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.